Recently, This Is America and the World traveled to the Republic of Panama. It's a small country in Central America that geographically, as a landmass, links North and South America, and its famous Panama Canal links East and West, the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans. It was our first trip to the region, and the experience was absolutely terrific. It's a country of friendly people and warm weather, and a country of contrasts. A capital city of modern skyscrapers, and just a couple of hours away, stunning rainforests, home to indigenous people who maintain not only the country's native roots, but also protect its environment. Panama is now center stage as it hosts the leadership of 35 countries at the 2015 Summit of the Americas. On this program, we'll explore Panama and the influences of the Spanish, French, and Americans on its history and culture. We'll talk with the Minister of Tourism, visit Panama's new Biodiversity Museum, and you'll meet guide Juan Carlos Valdez, who tells us about the old and colonial cities of the capital and takes us on a trip to visit the indigenous Embera tribe deep in the rainforests. This Is America visits Panama. Panama has everything: culture, history, resorts, beaches, nightlife, rainforests, and even more. From his office, with a sensational view overlooking the water and the capital city, Minister of Tourism Jesus Sierra Victoria told me why Panama attracts tourists from all over the world. If someone were coming here, what three things would you have them see? What would you have them do? What would you have them experience?
Well, Canal of Panama is the most, it's something that they have to see. But additional to the Canal of Panama, you will see the site of construction, the new pair of locks under construction.
That's the expansion.
That's the expansion of the canal. After 100 years, you will see that. Actually, a lot of tourists, they come to Panama and they go to Canal of Panama, but they're really impressed with the expansion. And they like to take a little piece of rock and put it in a kind of year or something that they can keep it and say, well, after 100 years, that's the first expansion of the Canal of Panama. And that's something that they like to see. The huge locks, the new pair of locks, and everything. So the Canal of Panama is interesting for the tourists, but the expansion, it looks like it's more interesting for the people, and they want to go to the countries, to the job site, to see how it works.
So I was asking you three things that people should do and see, and we were talking about first the
Canal of Panama.
What else?
Gary, you have to go to the museum.
New museum.
Yeah, the new museum. You have to go
Tell us a little bit about the museum.
The museum is the only one in America, and you will see the diversity of the specimen, the human specimen, and that's something important for the people, for scientific people, for non-scientific people. But you go how we start with a cell, and then how we are going to grow up, and the difference, how the human race, create, and how they develop, and the animals too. And it's something that you will see. You will see part of everything down there. But it's experience, and I recommend it to everybody to go to the museum of
So we got the canal, we've got the museum. What would be the third thing?
Well, the old town.
The old town.
Yes, you have to go to the old town. We call Casco Antiguo, but it's the old town of the city. In that area, you will find only the churches. You'll find buildings for the 1800s, for the 1700s. You will see a lot of history in that area. And if I have to mention a fourth attraction, I will see Panama La Vieja in the other area of the city. That area is really impressed how the pirates, they come to Panama and they assault this city, and all this story. And people like that. People look for that. People, when they travel, they look for the old towns and for the history more than other things. So, and we have a little bit of everything in the city and also in the country.
Panama is much more than nice weather and the Panama Canal. The country's location is important to the natural history of the entire hemisphere. We visited the new Museum of Biodiversity and met with the executive director. Biodiversity Museum?
Yes, this is the correct name.
What does that mean, biodiversity?
The people have to understand that the biodiversity is everything, everything. The people, the animals, the plant, everything is biodiversity. And we try to explain in this small country, in this small museum, what important is for us, for all the human being, is the biodiversity.
When we think of Panama, we think of a canal that is connecting one big ocean with another big ocean, or one water mass with another mass. We're talking about going in this direction, aren't we?
Yes.
Connecting, tell us.
Oh, this is a great history. 3 million years ago, the Isthmus of Panama is coming from the bottom of the sea and is converted to Las Americas, the continent, in only one mass of Earth. And that permits that all the animals, all the plants, and the human beings cross Panama between south to the north or north to the south. This is a big, big history that we count in this biomuseo, the Museo de la Biodiversidad. This is the name, and we try to explain that in this small museum.
Our guide, Juan Carlos Valdez, spent most of the week with us and expertly explained many aspects of Panama's culture, history, and geography in the colonial city, Casco Viejo, and the ruins of the old city known as Panama Viejo, and on our day trip to visit the indigenous Embera tribe who live in the rainforest. As we walk around this area, what will we see, what will we feel, what will we experience?
The beauty of the old colonial city have to do with the fact that here we can have the opportunity to see beautiful architecture for three important times of our country: the Spanish colonization, the French period of the construction of the Panama Canal, and then the United States period. Is all mixed up in some of these buildings. At the same time, we have some of the most important historical plazas and monuments of the cities are located here. The important buildings from the government, like the Presidential Palace, is located in this particular area. And it's changing a little bit because now it's becoming a vibrant city, especially at night. If you come here, there is great nightlife. It's a big spot for tourists that likes to come and enjoy and see Panama from another point of view. This city gives us the opportunity to really see Panama, the old Panama City, feel how it was. And then as you walk along the plazas, you have these amazing views of what Panama is nowadays, which is the modern city with all the skyline. And it's pretty impressive to see the contrast from just one point of view. And that's one of the things that people really enjoy when they come here, either at day or nighttime.
We're just sitting slightly away from one of the plazas.
Yeah.
Tell me the importance of the plaza and how that is part of the culture.
All right, the plaza where we just were is called the Cathedral Plaza, and that's where we have the most important church of the city is located there. And at the same time, it's also known as the Independence Plaza, because there we have monuments related to the moment when Panama became a nation in the year 1903. So we have bust of our first president, but around the plaza we all have some of the most important historical buildings from the canal construction time. We have the building that is now the official museum of the canal. It was called the Grand Hotel. It was where the French established the office when they came to build the Panama Canal for 20 years. We also have the municipal council building is over there, and it's that rich mixture of different periods of the history of Panama all together in one plaza, which makes it very interesting for the tourists and also for Panamanians we feel very proud of.
You and I visited ruins the other day.
Yeah.
You were describing again a kind of a town square that is traditional in various cities? Talk a little bit about the history of the center, the town square.
We were at the old Panama City, and that's the first city that was established in the Pacific side of America. We are now in the old Panama City. Panama is very well known for having three cities. The old Panama City, where we are now, the first city founded in the Pacific side of America by the Spaniards in the year 1519. The 15th of August, it became a very important location, not only for the Panamanians, but especially for the Spaniards, because most of the gold that at that time the Spaniards were taking out of South America came through the Isthmus of Panama, and it's estimated that about 60% of all the gold that was taken by the Spaniards from South America at one point came through the Isthmus of Panama on its way to Spain. There was one guy, his name was Henry Morgan, you probably heard about him, who in the year 1671 was smart enough to actually use the only Spanish trail cross from the Caribbean to the Pacific and attack and surprise this city, set it on fire most of the city, spent about 28 days here, and after that attack he left and went back to England. After that attack, the Spaniards, they decided that it was going to be a dangerous place to be again, or to rebuild the city in these locations because they could be attacked again. So that's when they relocated the city to the colonial city, which is about, where the colonial city is right now, is about 8 kilometers. So in the year 1673, everything that was here was just rebuilt about 8 kilometers away from here. That city was really well fortified. It was protected by a huge wall that was surrounding the entire city. So what we have here are monuments from the year 1671 that have been here, and the important thing to mention that not a lot of people know that this was the first city founded in the Pacific side of America after the Spanish explorer Vasco Núñez de Balboa discovered the South Sea here in Panama in the year 1513, 6 years before.
A wonderful part of Panama's culture and identity is found in its indigenous tribes, the original people of Panama. We traveled an hour and a half out of the city by van and then an hour on the river. The water is crystal clear, clean, and drinkable, and we were able to experience the natural beauty of Panama's rainforest up close. When we arrived at the Embera village, we were greeted with drums and music and the genuine warmth of the Embera people.
So when we're here today, what will we see? What will we experience?
En la visita de nosotros hoy, ¿qué vamos a ver? ¿Qué experiencia vamos a tener?
Ok, pues la visita de ustedes, la experiencia que pues nosotros le vamos a dar lo que es las danzas tradicionales, la música tradicional y la comida tradicional.
So in our visit today, we'll have the opportunity to see the traditional dances, the traditional music, and also to have a taste of their traditional food.
We met many villagers, including the evangelical minister who lives with the people and has built a church there.
Valerio Ruiz.
Nice to meet you, Valerio Ruiz.
Dennis. My name is Dennis.
Denis.
Su nombre es Denis.
Ok,
We wanted to see your church.
Quería ver su iglesia.
ok.
Yes?
Esa iglesia no es mía, esa iglesia es de Dios.
So that's not his church, that's God's church.
Con la gracia del Señor estoy predicando ahí.
Very
For the
nice.
great of God,
I played some soccer with Alejandro, ate a hands-on meal of tilapia and plantains, and even shopped for some of the tribe's intricately made handicrafts, which are sold to support the tourism-based economy. There was dancing too, and even a couple of magic tricks. It was incredible to see that the Embera tribal culture was so intact when the capital city is so modern and developed. The Embera experience was also a powerful reminder that Panama is a country of contrasts and realities, old and new, rich and poor, the Atlantic and the Pacific, Central, North, and South America. It's all here and all part of Panama.